3.
Darren McGowan was all smiles at the 2012 grand opening of his bike tour and rental business. So was the director of Ohio's Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities.
Not everybody gets an opportunity to start their own business when they come into our offices and they have a disability. It has to be a pretty sound plan.
The former homeless ex-con was given an opportunity, along with some seed money, your tax dollars, to fund McGowan's business, Columbus Bike Tours and Bike Rentals.
I love bikes. I love bikes. I love what bikes can do for people.
That was last July. ABC 6 investigators learned that McGowan is out of business, has been for several months now. When McGowan declined to answer some of our questions over the phone, we went looking for him. We found him at this house in Columbus where McGowan was working as a home health care aide. Watch what happens next. McGowan jumps onto his bike and pedals off down the street. We follow in our news car. Darren, why don't you just answer the questions? McGowan started his short-lived bike business through OOD's self-employment program. Funded solely with your tax dollars, the program helps people with disabilities like McGowan start their own businesses. OOD says the program is geared toward clients who would have difficulty finding work on their own. OOD spokesperson Brad Reynolds.
Help them create a business plan that's sustainable and viable, and then that's reviewed by a team of individuals with disabilities. Again, subject matter experts review those business plans before moving forward. We try to provide them with the resources that they need to be successful without going over the top. We're not, we're trying to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars.
Our investigation shows otherwise. What we discovered is a state agency that lacks checks and balances when it comes to managing your tax dollars. The agency's self-employment program started around 1976, but OOD could only provide us with records from 2010 when it updated its system of tracking this sort of information. The agency says, by law, it's only required to keep records 3 years, but they save them for 5. Between 2010 and 2012, OOD doled out $5.3 million to 464 clients to go into business for themselves. Naturally, we have lots of questions.
I want to check the facts.
Like how much money Darren McGowan received to start his business, the names of those other 463 clients who took part in the program over the past 3 years, and how much money they received. We wanted answers and requested them through Ohio's Public Records Act, but OOD's lawyer told us that information is confidential. What we did manage to find out, though, is disturbing.
Do you have any idea how many of those are still in business today?
No, we do not.
Why not?
We don't track them after the 90 days.
You heard right. OOD doesn't track businesses funded with your tax dollars after 90 days. The agency says it follows federal guidelines, and according to the feds, a business is considered stable after just 3 months.
90 days of being sustainable and sustaining activity. We believe that they're on the right track.
90 days seems like a short period to determine whether or not a business is successful.
Correct.
How do we know a lot of our taxpayer dollars are just going down the drain?
It is a concern, and as we continue to work with our policies and procedures, we're looking at a way that we can make sure that we're better able to track those and better able to work with the individuals to make sure that they're successful.
Darren McGowan isn't one of them. Come on, Darren. McGowan ducked us, but he can't run away from his troubled past. The 48-year-old spent 9 years of his life in prison. Between 1990 and 2007, McGowan was sent to Ohio State Prison 7 times for theft and burglary. ABC 6 investigators learned he's in trouble with the law again.
Darren McGowan.
McGowan was a no-show for a recent arraignment in Franklin County for 2 misdemeanor theft cases. He's accused of stealing 6 items from this JCPenney outlet store and $18 worth of postal stamps from this Walmart.
I'm really excited for today.
Last July, Darren McGowan joined city and state leaders at his very own ribbon-cutting ceremony. Tonight, there's 2 warrants out for his arrest.
Is this the sort of people we want to give money to, tax money to?
Well, certainly in this particular case, that does not seem to be the case.
We asked OOD if any of the other 463 clients who received your tax dollars to start businesses have felony records. In this letter, the agency says it doesn't track that sort of information.
Moving forward, there's the opportunity to better vet candidates and make sure that we're asking the right questions.
The $5.3 million question tonight: does OOD have any recourse in recovering taxpayer money spent on failing businesses like McGowan's?
We have some recourse to go back and reclaim some of the property that the state had purchased.
That's physical property only, says OOD. Everything else, we're told, is considered a loss, which begs the question: how much of that $5.3 million invested in its self-employment program over the past 3 years was dismissed as a loss? That information is not available.
We're trying to take steps and take measures that will ensure that we're able to report that and accurately be able to define that number.
During the course of our investigation, we learned OOD recovered McGowan's bikes, most of them anyway. One was found in pieces. McGowan told OOD 2 others were stolen. The state also got back these containers McGowan used to store the bikes. Tonight, the agency tells ABC6 investigators it's reviewing its self-employment program and how to better protect and track your tax dollars.
We are not perfect. Occasionally mistakes are made or outliers slip through the cracks. Maybe there are some additional questions that we should be asking.